Good morning, Chairman Moran and Ranking Member Simpson, members of the subcommittee. Let me express what an incredible honor it is for me to be here to testify in front of you. This is well outside my wheelhouse, but I'm very happy to be here. And it's an issue that I'm passionate about, and it also happens to concern my job. So, as you said, my name's Kyle MacLachlan. I'm an actor and member of the Americans for the Artists Committee. One sidebar, I did think your appearance on Hardball was pretty special last week. Just wanted
Thank you.
Well done.
Well, that makes me feel good. I'm not sure you would have agreed with the cut. Well, I think you probably would have, Mike. Actually, I think you would have on that one. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. That makes
You're welcome. I'm here today to speak about how the arts have not only enriched this country, but also served as public support for my professional career. As we all struggle with the current economic downturn, congressional leaders such as yourselves face the enormous challenge of getting people back to work. It's especially important to me to underscore the struggles of those in the creative community who are facing the same demands on their families. When Bob asked me to participate in this event, I started to think about my roots and the opportunities that I had growing up, and realized that I took many of these for granted simply because they were available to me. My first significant relationship with the theater was when I was about 10, and my mom volunteered me and my brothers to help out at the local community theater in Yakima, Washington, my hometown. Our theater was a converted Apple storage warehouse and had been turned into a vibrant, non-profit performance stage theater and community resource. And my brothers and I would help out during the summer musical and the fall play. Our little theater was a real good example of how the arts can have a positive economic and civic effect on a small community. It was a lot of work, as you can imagine. The audiences absolutely loved it, gave my mom and many others like her a tremendous source of pride in serving her community. And because it was a town hub, it generated a lot of buzz, whether it was the plays or the musicals we did. And during the afternoons, we would have, they would have art displays on in the lobby. And it was this type of thing that just really made the difference and impacted Yakima in a very positive way. Ultimately, it was my involvement in the community theater that gave me a foundation in something that would later resonate with my academic pursuits and much later into my career. It was during high school I was very involved in the music programs, the drama group, the after-school plays, but I never really thought that theater was something I could do as a career. It was, however, a great place to meet girls, as you can imagine. And that was a pretty good selling point. But
she's beaming. That's a word.
Yes, came later. But when I look back, I realized that by doing the performances, I was in Oklahoma and My Fair Lady. It gave me confidence that I would draw on later when I seriously began to consider acting as a career. I was very fortunate to have those kind of outlets and programs in my junior high and high school. As a lot of kids don't have that kind of opportunity to find their voice in something outside a standard curriculum. I know he's not here, but 1960 football national champion, number 63, Mr. Norm Dix, also went to the U, and that's where I went to continue my education. To borrow a football analogy, I kind of fumbled around college for a few years before finally landing on my feet. They had a training program there called the Professional Actor Training Program. This was an esteemed program rivaling schools like Juilliard and Yale in acting training. And I set my sights on getting into this program and was accepted in 1979. The main thrust of the program, apart from the training us to be actors, was that the main instructor, his expectation was nothing more than to make us become working actors. We were there to learn about acting, but really, he wanted us to enter the workforce, and that was a main part of his education. And each year, leading to that, each year, as an extension of this training, we were expected to go out and do summer theater. So I had summer theater apprentices in a lot of nonprofit theaters around the country. Flat Rock Playhouse, North Carolina. Millbrook, Pennsylvania, which is really in the middle of nowhere, but it's beautiful, and they got great corn. I worked at the Lyric Repertory Theater in Logan, Utah. These little theaters were fantastic training grounds for honing my craft, but the communities would also benefit. They cherished these summer theater productions, as you can imagine, and they drew visitors from across the region. So it was during my last year of school, I auditioned, I got a job at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival in Ashland. The Shakespeare Festival is a repertory company, which means I did 3 different roles in rotation, doing a different play each night, 5 to 6 performances a week, on an outdoor stage, battling the elements May through October, while earning the vast sum of $550 a month. Didn't matter. I was doing what I loved. I was putting into practice skills that I had acquired through the training program at the University of Washington. And believe it or not, this opportunity to work at the festival was due in part to the work of this subcommittee. Many of these nonprofit theaters that shaped my early career were recipients of NEA grants, either directly or indirectly, through state and local arts councils. The universally praised Oregon Shakespeare Festival in Ashland is a consistent grant awardee. So it's not far-fetched to say that your belief in this incredible festival helped me enter society as a productive member and pursue my passion. This year, your funding of the NEA will help bring Hamlet again to the 2010 Shakespeare Festival season. And I am sure that the working actors, sound techs, stage managers, wardrobe staff, electricians, carpenters, and vendors will feel the impact of those federal funds as they work to bring high-quality performances to the hundreds of thousands of people that travel to Ashland each year. I'm proud to have been a part of this tradition. So I was up in Seattle doing theater. I got a call to meet and read for the movie, Dune, by David Lynch. They were looking for an unknown to play the lead. You couldn't get much more unknown than me at that time. And I read for a casting agent downtown Seattle. Turns out she'd come across my name by contacting many of the mentors of mine in the Seattle area stage community. And I've been fortunate, as Chairman Moran said, to work in a lot of film and successful television series. And I continually draw back on my education and experiences in Seattle, Ashland, and yes, even Yakima. I look at those experiences as fundamental to my success, allowing me to pursue my life's work. So let me conclude by saying a heartfelt thank you to the subcommittee for their work on the behalf of the NEA. You are our champions here in the halls of Congress. And for many of us, you hold our livelihoods in your hands. Much of my success has to do with the opportunities that were present because of the support from this subcommittee for the NEA to give grants directly to theaters and through state and local arts councils. I know that recent years have seen increases in funding, and through the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act has helped save jobs in the creative workforce. Thank you for that. I am living, walking proof of the tangible difference supporting these types of programs can make. And I join with my colleagues here today in respectfully requesting that this committee allocate $180 million to the National Endowment for the Arts so that the arts and arts education remain pillars in the communities they serve. Thank you so much for allowing me to testify for you, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Excellent testimony. Mr. Simpson?
No questions. I appreciate hearing your story. Rocco and I this past week went to the Idaho Shakespeare Festival and their winter program where they go around to Shakespeareans, is what they call it, around to high schools.
Yeah.
And we sat and talked to some of the actors afterwards for a while. And you're right, they struggle to get by. And then hope that they get on with the summer production of the Shakespeare Festival and stuff. But it is a tremendous opportunity for these schools because these drama students and other students that were there, these artists spend time with them and talk to them about what it's like and what they go through and how to act and that kind of stuff. And it's an experience they wouldn't have without the support of the NEA and what they're able to do to get those programs out to those schools. So it's interesting to hear that you've gone through that too.
Well, you know, it reminds me of when I was in high school. It's the same thing you're talking about from the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. They had touring groups that would go out, and they came to my school. They came to Eisenhower, and they did monologues for us. And that was really, I mean, I still remember it. I got chills. Matter of fact, I stole that guy's monologue to audition to get into this program. It was, I'm going to admit that. I guess it's in the record now, isn't it? All right. Okay, doesn't matter. But it had a tremendous impact on me, just them visiting the school, and it was because of these grants. So they really do make a difference, a tangible difference. So
Thank you.
thank you for that.
Yeah, it's amazing the number of people where the NEA has given them a kickstart that they could sustain through their career, and how much all of us have been benefited by that. So, Mr. MacLachlan, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.